Looking at the sticker package, I'd call this about a 2012. It's funny how you do this long enough, you learn to recognize the differences. This is a Sundance XLT, model 277RL here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. Recent trade-in, about 15 minutes ago, it was ours type trade-in. This is the little brother of the Sundance family. It doesn't have the big 40-foot stature. It's the lighter weight one that a guy with a half-ton truck can tow without busting his truck to pieces. They do a lot of just gorgeous looking cosmetics, and I gotta tell you, this thing had to have been kept under some kind of cover, be it a barn or just even a camper cover, because I mean the graphics, look at just the color and the shine on these sidewalls. None of your stickers are peeling, cracking. These things all look factory fresh. This is really well maintained. And something I've always been a sucker for, Heartland has done this for years as the fifth wheel shroud. They were the first to do that, and in fact Heartland was the first to do a lot. They've always been a company who's not afraid to make changes. The RV industry is dictated and ruled by people who are just terrified to change things, and Heartland's really been the trailblazer. And the folks that own this did a lot of cool things for preventative maintenance. Like you see the fifth wheel lubricating disc here. That little nylon disc keeps the steel of your pin box from rubbing on the steel of your hitch. And stuff like that adds up over time. It's what prevents corrosion and breakdown and failure. And you're gonna see these folks did a lot of little things like that to keep this coach in good condition. I believe they had intended to keep this for much longer. I mean, it's only a 2012. It's basically very, very late model and very new. But I think they saw something here that was a little bit larger that just really struck their fancy, and they swapped out for it. And we must have treated them really well. It's difficult to shake a late model thing on trade because you haven't always hit quite an equity situation yet. But obviously we took care of these folks. Now here's something else I noticed. This is different. This has a slide out rear bumper. However, these folks had a big heavy duty hitch welded on with 7-way wiring. So they must have intended to tow something behind this. And it does seem to prevent the hitch from coming all the way out. I could be wrong. You might just have to be friendlier with it. I didn't want to yank on it too awful hard, you know. But again, little things they did, they bubble wrapped their bike rack so that the thing couldn't wiggle and you know, scar up the trailer going down the road. They did all kinds of preventative things like that just to keep this thing in great looking shape. This does have an enclosed underbelly. Actually, let me get you under there real quick. That's part of the weather protection package that Heartland offered on these. We were a dealer of the Greystone, which was like the upgraded Sundance, so we're very familiar with how this is put together. In 2012, we sold Greystones that were laid out just like this. What's kind of cool, let me spin you around here, pardon me. What's kind of cool is they had added the upgrades to this one to kind of, in a sense, rebuild a Greystone. You know, they added the nicer hide-to-bed sofa, the freestanding table, some nicer amenities like that. And take a look at just the huge windows on this thing. The windows are basically as big as they possibly can be. They're so large that I have to keep the camera pointed down away from them, otherwise it tricks the camera into thinking it's too bright. You see that? Looking back here, something that I noticed is this has a very wide entry door. And that's not something people normally think about. But when you're out there cooking, you know, when you're walking in, you know, you got your whole platter full of food or whatever, it's nice to have that, you know, that extra width so you don't have to try to tilt something. Just to give you a quick look at the chairs. These are going to be your primary seating areas. These would be the ones that would wear and tear the most. And you see that that is just not the case. These are really well maintained. You see that your window hardware isn't busted up. These aren't banged up. This is a very nice coach. I just can't believe these folks had intended to swap out of this one this soon. They must have just seen something they really, really liked. I'm not even sure at this moment in time what they purchased. Central air and heat naturally. You see that the folks had left the original name brand flat screen high def TV in here. Your stereo is an all-in-one AM FM CD and DVD unit, so you do not need to bring extra electronics. Plenty of cabinet space here. And next to the refrigerator over here is a big tall pantry that's just out of frame right now. We'll see that in a minute. You see that you do have some nice drawer space here, and you know, it's all plywood box construction, full ball bearing extension glides. You can literally set a cinder block on that and it will hold. I don't recommend you drop it from 10 feet, but you can set one in there. If you've heard me say it once, said it 1,000 times. I get really excited when I see owner's manuals coming on a used camper. It tells me, as an indicator, not a rule, but a guide, that folks took care of their stuff. They kept track of the books. They kept track of the camper is what that means. I mentioned the pantry. It just kind of hides its way just out of frame otherwise. And you see that's about 2 feet deep. And I do like the three-dimensional nature they put into their cabinetry here. You know, it has a lot of depth and character and shape to it. It's not just flat panel, everything, everywhere. Now, this little hallway here, walking up to the bedroom, is neat for a couple reasons. One, you have a door. You can close your bedroom and have some privacy. So if you have someone sleeping on that hide-a-bed we talked about, they don't have to bug you at night. They can come up here on their own and get to the bathroom without ever disturbing you. And notice this, a real shower, not a tub. And you can actually stand up in here. I'm 6'3" with these shoes on, and you see that there's plenty of room above my head in here. So this is a true walk-in type shower situation. Porcelain foot flush stool. So this is a lot higher grade than you typically see in this class. Usually in the lightweight classes you tend to find plastic. And they pitch it as, oh, it's lighter weight. It's really not that much lighter. This is just nicer. I'm going to estimate, looking at that this was the wine cellar. That looks exactly like they put some wine bottles in there. I'm not sure what that would be. Maybe a aficionado of some variety can educate me. But this is just bonus cabinet space. This is just a little corner cabinet that they put in here just because there was extra room to do so. Now, up here in the bedroom, I like the wide open nature, and this is a true queen. This is an 80-inch queen bed, not a 76-inch camper queen like you normally find in something like this. Each side of the bed does have a little nook or cranny here to put, you know, alarm clocks and fans and lights and books and things like that. Now, this is the second slide out. This is a wardrobe slide, so this is just bonus pure storage space. And they do this instead of a bed in the slide out because it keeps the pin weight down, so it's still half-ton towable. If this was a full bed in the slide out, it would be a little heavier than is comfortable for most half-ton trucks. This type of slide, by comparison, only has 1/3 of the weight of a full bed slide and maintains basically the same amount of closet space. It's really sweet, and the only downside to it normally is when you turn this whole wall into a slide out like this, you lose your windows. However, Heartland was really smart because you have a big fire escape window right here, and you have a roof vent above the bed right here. You can get some cross ventilation, and the light from those will reflect off of these fully mirrored doors to keep it very luminous and bright in here. Now notice, again, we only have one window in this bedroom, but it's very comfortably bright in here. You don't need to turn on your lights and drain your battery. And I like to point out that you do have plenty of walkable room around this bed. So you just until you get up to the bed, it is truly fully walkable. You have a little step up just around the bed, but by that point, I mean, pardon me for spinning you around again. By that point, if you think about it, when people are shopping for campers, they think, well, I'm gonna stand right here, and you're not. By the time you're over here, you're crawling into bed, you know? You're not standing beside the bed putting on your sweater. You're standing at the foot of the bed putting on your sweater. And that's the hardest part, is imagining yourself using this, especially you first-timers who have never done this. You don't know what you don't know. So please take me up on this. Come out to our store here in Coldwater, Michigan, pretend this is our dressing room, and try one on for size. And you'll really find out that the thing that you thought you wanted isn't the thing that fits you. And that's why we have so many models in stock. We can find the perfect fit for you and your family. 800-256-5196. Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. Thank you, everyone. Take care. Please stay safe. Happy camping.